Hello everyone, I'm Emma and welcome to Sketchy Ed, a little corner of the internet where I'll be discussing or reviewing all things horror related. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the movie Brightburn. Directed by David Yarovesky, Brightburn follows the trials and tribulations of Tori and Kyle Breyer, a married couple who after years of desperately wishing for a baby are thrust into parenthood when one crash lands into their Kansas property. Years pass and things seem to be going all well and good until just before their adopted extraterrestrial son, Brandon's 12th birthday, where he discovers he has superhuman powers. Powers which seem to awaken a dark and violent side of him. Released in May 2019, Brightburn is a unique mashup of the superhero and horror genre, the result being an incredibly dark version of an anti-superhero movie. It's a mirror image of the Superman origin story, but with a sinister twist, where instead of using his powers for good and justice, he uses them for destruction. Putting that comparison aside, after watching this, I definitely thought it leaned more towards being a horror movie, which just so happened to feature superhero elements. The most obvious ones being the repurposing of the Superman origin story, Brandon's adoption of a costume, and the fact that Brandon Breyer is an alliterative name, following suit with the countless other superheroes that we've been introduced to in pop culture, including Peter Parker, Bruce Banner, and even Superman himself, Clark Kent. No, this was definitely a horror movie, and a dark and gory one at that. I actually didn't hear much about this movie when it first came out. I think I may have seen a poster for it once, but completely dismissed it because it appeared to be marketed more towards being a superhero film, which is not typically a genre I'm a big fan of. That being said, I then came across a positive review by Emma at Spooky Astronauts, and I immediately put it on my watch list, and I'm so glad that I did. There were so many things that I enjoyed about this movie. I thought it was brilliantly acted by all parties involved, especially the parents, Tori and Kyle Breyer, played by Elizabeth Banks and David Denman. I really sympathized with them as they tried their best to navigate such a unique and downright horrific situation. My heart went out to Elizabeth Banks' character in particular. You can see how deeply and desperately she loves and cares for her son, and you can feel her despair as she's trying to grapple with the reality that he's done some downright horrific things with very little to no sympathy for mankind. She definitely sold it to me, and I couldn't help but feel sorry for the poor woman. Brandon was played by Dunn, who also did great in his role. He came across as this creepy and awkward kid, and I actually felt he was soulless in moments, which fit his character perfectly. In addition to the performances, the violence and gore in this film are top notch. The killing scenes are incredibly gory and very well done. The CGI was effective, and I'm not usually a massive fan of CGI, so that's really saying something. On a little tangent, my husband's not a big fan of horror and gory movies, and he just so happened to wander in during that car scene. If you've seen the movie, then you know what I'm talking about. He just looked at me and said, "Why do you watch these messed up movies for?" Seriously, the worst timing. With regards to the storyline, I felt like the plot was simple. It was a bit predictable with how it played out, but it was still interesting and engaging. I think it was a smart choice that the movie didn't go into explaining where Brandon or his spaceship came from. I feel like it didn't need it and would have taken away some of the mystery surrounding him. I also loved the ending, including the song and the clips that they chose to play out throughout the credits. That to me was a cherry on top of a great horror movie. So now it's time for my final overview and score. Despite the mixed reviews from critics and audiences alike, I think that Brightburn was a solid film. The performances were excellent, the plot, although fairly simple and predictable, was engaging, and the horror elements were definitely effective. It was a fun, violent, compact slasher film, which comes to a close in a way that I think most horror fans will appreciate. I give this an overall rating of 7 out of 10. So what did you guys think? Did you enjoy Brightburn? I know that there's a lot of mixed reviews in the horror community, but I really genuinely enjoyed this movie. On a side note, did anyone get Serious Chronicle vibes when watching this? Do you guys remember that movie? It was like probably nearly 10 years ago now. Not that I'm complaining, I really enjoyed Chronicle the movie, and I actually might rewatch that sometime soon after watching this. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my review. Let me know if you agree, disagree, whatever with me in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.